Hello and welcome to Motors for the Masses, and this week we are going out on the off-road. Out on the off-road? You know what I mean? We're going off-road. I'm on my KTM and Jamie is going to join me this time on this. Now what is that, I hear you ask? Well, let's roll the intro and find out and get cracking.
Crack.
Pathetic.
Crack.
So, what is it, I hear you scream?
I don't think they need to worry about what is it. It says it on the front of the box there.
Oh yeah. There you go. Right, video over, move on. Right, it is this. That's not how they come boxed, that was just for the looks. It's small, isn't it?
Slightly flattened version.
It is, yes. This is a pit bike that's road legal. So it's not just another pit bike. Yes, this is the Thump 125 RoadRipper. I had to look at the box because I forgot. I keep wanting to call it Roadrunner.
What he meant was Thumpstar also.
All right, Thumpstar. It's a Thumpstar. So start again. Hello, this is a Thumpstar RoadRipper 125. Right, okay. Move on. Have you built it yet? I'm unwrapping it. Yes, this is what Jamie has bought. And we're going to take this off-road and see how it performs. Now, being an enduro bike and doing enduro, it doesn't really matter if it's a speed machine. Just needs to be cheap enough to have a good amount of fun. And Jamie is certainly going to have a good amount of fun, aren't you? So, if anything's going to have a good test, it's this, because he rides like a nutter. Don't you?
Not at all.
Don't you?
Calm and calculated.
Anyone who knows that's ever been out with Jamie knows I'm correct. If you think Jamie rides like a nutter, please let me know in the comment section below. If you don't, you'll soon find out. Jamie has 2 speeds. Or death. So, let's build it. That's not going to do much, is it? Now, it's not just a simple case of build it and off you go. This bike has to be registered. So you have to go through the process of registering a bike. You've got to fill in the document, send off your payment. Now, of course, being DVSA, you can't just go online and do it and pay online. Oh no, the DVSA are still stuck in 1924, which means you've got to fill in a paper form, sign it physically, and then send a check. Uses checks or a postal order and send that off to the DVLA, and then you've got to wait apparently up to 6 to 8 weeks until the documents arrive. This is going to be a really long video, or there's going to be a really long gap. I may still have this in 6 weeks time. I might have some hair, probably not. So yeah, there you go. Hopefully it'll be back within 1 or 2 weeks, and my Merc has just turned up. Had some work done. My new runabout. Not really new, had it a while. Old runabout. So yeah, there you go. Jamie is now going to build it, and then we'll show you what it's like, and he'll ride it across the yard and show you the kind of thing it does. And then, once we've got the paperwork through, and you've insured it, and you've registered it, and you've taxed it, and now why won't that start? Yeah, just leave it there. Yeah, that's good. They're very impressive. And then we'll go off-road. Probably in a different video. But by the end of this, you'll see what it's like and see him trying to take it across the yard without wheeling it. Interesting. What, you done?
Petrol.
Well, now petrol.
Well, the light's been on since I've had it.
Brilliant. So, of course, what is the difference between a road going and an off-road stomp? No, not Stomp, although it's the same company. Thumpstar. Well, this one has a dash. See here, look, dash with speedo on it, which is always handy. Of course, it's got indicators, the ignition, which it comes with anyway on the other one. Handlebars, they're essential. Indicators with the headlight. Now, for an MOT, it doesn't necessarily need them, but it does need a horn. I know, don't ask, I don't understand either, but there you go. But yes, for normal road use, it's got the lights, front and rear, and the indicators, and it's got the speedo. We'll get it all together, all wired up, and ready to go. Interesting. I'm quite keen to see what it does, on and off road, to be fair. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not going to be as fast as my KTM 250, but being an enduro bike, I don't thrash that around, and I don't ride fast. So I think this will be perfect for what we need it for, and certainly fun, and definitely light. Now at this point you may be asking, but it's a brand new bike, why does it need an MOT? Well, that is part of the road registering process. It has to have an MOT to show it's roadworthy at that moment in time. Although again, MOTs are weird because you don't need lights and you don't need indicators for the MOT, being a predominantly off-road derived vehicle, but you do need a horn. Go figure. Anyway, so yes, it needs that MOT before it can send off for the paperwork and get its V5 logbook. Now you may also be asking, what is that popping noise in the background? Well, that'll be this. That's our baby ultrasonic cleaner, not the big ultrasonic cleaner. And this currently has my float bowls from the KTM, because after the last ride it was getting a bit difficult to start and it kept cutting out on idle. So we've cleaned the jets out, but we've never cleaned the float bowl out, and I don't know why, but I think my impatience to get out there and enjoy it, because it was still running okay before. But yeah, so we're giving the float bowls a proper ultrasonic clean before it goes back on, and hopefully that'll solve the issue. Anyway, back to the Thumpstar. So it's taking shape. Now, part of this, building it, is putting the rear shock in. It already comes with the rear wheel on. The brakes are not attached to it. Be mindful when you get these that nothing has been trapped in, because they're all hunkered down and they're in the crate. Then they push plastics in various orifices, which are fine when they pack it, but when they're couriered, things move and things shake around. So sometimes the plastics get damaged and caught and scratched. Not all the time. Sometimes they do. Unfortunately, on this one, it has happened. There, it's been caught. And the mudguard was in the...
Yeah, well, this is obviously completely flat on top of that back tyre.
Yep.
So, and the rear front wheel was in the crate along the side here, so it's scuffed all along there.
Yeah.
And the exhaust sat down on the banjo bolt on the top of the caliper there.
Okay.
Which has scuffed the exhaust underneath.
So yeah, just be mindful of that. Just make sure that you put in a claim when that happens. And take photographs before you build it. I haven't put a microphone on Jamie because otherwise he'll be swearing a lot and I'd have to do a lot of editing. So that's why he doesn't have a microphone. So that's why I'm leaning into him when he talks in a non-emotional and intimate way. Anyway, you finished it? Yeah, interesting. Come on. I want to see what it rides like.
Eh?
I want to see what it rides like.
Well, you could have seen it ride earlier if I didn't have to do your KTM, your Triumph, 2 customers' bikes.
Well.
And some MOTs.
Yeah. My Triumph now has a service, my big Triumph, and my KTM carb is now fixed and it runs perfectly. Although you didn't do the brakes, did you?
But my bike...
Well, no, so the clutch
still
nipple.
in pieces.
Yeah, but I'm paying you for your bike to be in pieces. So...
Stop whinging.
Why are you telling them? They're not whinging. Well, they might be. Right, Jamie has just pointed out, which is very true, that these cannot be bought direct from the supplier. Like Stomp pit bikes, where you can buy it in a box, take it home, do it yourself. These, because they're a road-going machine and they have to be registered, can only be done through a dealer. Is that better? Yes. I've been corrected. I admit my faults. I'm a man's man, a modern man. I admit when I'm wrong. It's not often it happens, but... So now is the moment of truth. Will it start?
Will it? Will it? Will it?
No.
No, it won't.
Oh, there you go.
Come on, fuel.
Pumping fuel through, don't be alarmed.
So I'll kill some time.
Oh.
A bit too much front play.
Bit more for too much free play, yeah. So it runs.
It runs. Still needs a lot of work, I think.
Yeah.
Half choke. Put the idle. He's setting up. Idle.
No. Okay, so the carb needs setting up, mixture?
Yeah, well, it probably just needs a going through.
Okay. The dash works quite nicely. Actually, I'll show you the dash. I'll bring you around and show you. It's quite nice. So we have noticed a couple of things. Obviously, these pit bikes have been around for quite a while and they've never been a problem. Now they're trying to go onto the road. They're adding stuff to it that's never been on a pit bike, namely the mirrors. Now, these haven't even been tightened up, and on both, tightening these bit by bit just to tighten it up, they're both cracked across there and across there. So new brackets are needed, and they weren't even tight at the time. They've just snapped. So these are made of Wensleydale, clearly. However, the dash is quite nice. Quite like that. It's not a gear indicator, that's a neutral indicator, because when you put it in gear, it just goes out. But yeah, it's quite a nice little dash. It's quite a nice little pit bike. Obviously the proof will be in the pudding, as they say. In other words, how does it ride? But we need to get it up and running properly first before that happens. So watch this space. We'll be back in the daylight, because it's now dark, and get it out for a little test. Yeah? Are you happy so far?
Yeah. It's exactly what I expected it to be.
And we'll leave it exactly there. Come back in a minute. And here it is, the Thumpstar RoadRipper 125. So how much horsepower has this got?
Oh, a fantastic 8 horsepower.
8 horsepower.
Yeah.
But let's not forget, it's a bike for Enduro.
It weighs
that can go on the road.
84 kilos.
Exactly that.
It's quite light.
Plus your 100 kilos.
Quite heavy.
185 kilos.
Yeah.
So,
same
yeah.
weight as my blade. Without me on it.
Yeah, without you on it, yeah. And the same as my MV. Fantastic. So there you go. A RoadRipper. How does it sound? Well, let's find out. Please start up your beast of a machine.
Ooh, will it start? Ooh, this is that. Oh, died. Clutch. It's cold, bless it.
Yeah, it is cold. There you go. It sounds just like any other stomp, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just a pit bike, isn't it?
Yeah, it needs warming up. Why does it do that?
Why, it's brand new. We haven't even run it yet, have we? Really?
No, good point. Fair enough. There you go. So once this is up and running, we shall take it out. Once you flip the video, you'll see it. Oh, let me show you the dash. It's quite pleasing. So it's a colour-ish dash. Quite nice. Let me zoom in a little bit, see if you can see what it's like there. Yeah, it's got stuff that you can see. You've got a neutral symbol there, but you don't have a gear indicator because that goes out when you put it in gear. So Jamie, talk the ladies and gentlemen through the setup. Obviously it's a pit bike style engine, gearbox.
Yeah, it's just a regular manual clutch, all 4 up, so nice and straightforward.
Yep, so just like the Stomp 140s, which, talking about the 140, this is exactly the same frame as the 140, which means you could put a 140 engine in this frame. Watch this space. Maybe.
Could be a plan.
Could be a plan. The difference with that is that this has 8 brake horsepower and the 140 has 16 brake horsepower.
If you buy the 140 with the Z40 high lift cam.
Yes, okay. If you don't,
it's 14 brake.
Right, okay, it's still better. 14 brake.
Nearly double the power on it.
Indeed. Now, you do also get sequential indicators on this, which is quite nice. So the ones that go... They don't make that noise, they just do the visual bit. Obviously, you get a headlight, you get the bosses for mirrors, but a lot of people don't put them on because they don't look brilliant, and they're possibly made of cheese. Other than that, you get mirrors, so if you want them for the road, you've got them. So Jamie's now going to have a seat on the bike, and you can see what his 6-footness looks like on it. That's good there. I'm moving back.
Yeah, cannot fit me in frame.
There you go, that's better. Now at this point, what I'm going to do is wheel in the KTM so you can see the difference in height. Now bearing in mind, this KTM is not small. Off-road bikes are not small. Turning round. So there we go. Wheel the KTM into frame.
And the pit bike disappears.
The pit bike, it looks like Jamie's floating. Yeah.
Am I sitting beside your bike?
It actually looks like you're sitting on top of the KTM now. Oh dear. Yeah, that's not a good comparison. Quite amusing though. So yes, right, I think at this point we shall start it up and have a listen and have a ride. What do you reckon? So, what did you think of that? Be honest, what did you think of the way it rode?
I mean, it rides all right, to be honest. I mean, obviously the knobblies, it has lovely new knobblies on pavement, but...
Especially when it's a bit wet.
Yeah, I mean, it rides okay, nice and straight, and everything feels okay. You don't feel too small.
No.
Bear in mind, I'm a 6-foot guy, nearly at its weight limit for this bike. I think the weight limit is recommended is 15 stone. I'm about 14 3/4, so I'm pretty much at its peak.
Fair enough. So you're saying it's too heavy for me?
You're
Well,
too heavy.
I'm too heavy for it. Yeah.
If you go by the weight limit of the bike, yes.
Malcolm would need 2.
I've seen many people
One on each leg.
a lot bigger ride these, even smaller ones. So, yeah, I mean, the electrics, the dash and the indicators seem better than a lot better than I expected. I expected just the worst of the worst, to be honest. Just anything old lights that would go on it to make it road legal.
Yeah, but no, they've thought a bit about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's okay. It's not. Don't get me wrong. It's not a £400 dash quality. However, it's okay.
It's actually a better dash than I've got on my KTM.
Yeah.
Which is basically sometimes you get a bit of speed.
You know, yours looks like a
hours.
calculator, doesn't it? On
Yeah,
that
it does like a calculator. Yeah, it does. I know.
So yeah, I mean, it's not bad, to be honest. I mean, 8 brake horsepower isn't going to set the world alight, but as an alternative, if you want to do a bit of green laning and have a road registered bike at 17,
yes. I mean, if you want to do enduro, you need to go on and off road to get to and from the all road available byways that you can ride them on. So you need to be able to go on the road. Either you've got to stick it in a van, take it to another bit of off road, then stick it in a van again, take it another bit. So it's ideal if you want to do a bit of green laning, go to and from work and college, and you can ride this as a 17-year-old on L plates as well, which is the best part about it. Now, what do you have to do to use it on the road? Well, there's a few things you have to do. First of all, price-wise, it's £1,599 on the road. That's not bad. It does come with the usual 30-day warranty, because at the end of the day, it's an off-road style bike. That's the only downside as far as that's concerned. But, you know, these thumps and stomps last really well. They're very good quality.
they take abuse from the youngsters and that. I mean,
they do.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say? We don't get many back for repairs, do we?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Bit of maintenance maybe, but we don't see many back for repairs.
To be honest, the only time we ever see one is if it's had, it's been sitting for a while and the fuel's gone stale.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's quite often the only reason why we get one. Now, to get it, you will need a V267 from the dealer. That is the certificate of newness. And you will need one of these, which is a V55-4, downloadable from the DVLA. Fill that in with your fee, which is how much?
It is 76 quid in total, 55 quid for the registration fee and £21 for a year's tax.
Okay, and you will also need an MOT. Bearing in mind it is a brand new bike and you don't usually need an MOT for 3 years, because it hasn't been registered and it doesn't have that homologation certificate, you have to have an MOT. But again, what's that, 30 quid? Yeah. So there you go. An MOT shouldn't be too much of a problem, because at the end of the day it is a brand new bike, so you're not really going to go, oh yeah, well, your wheel bearings need changing and all that.
And not being funny, whoever put it together should have checked that anyway.
Indeed. I apologise for the background noise, but it's been going on all day and this is the best we've had it so far. Recovery trucks, what can I say? So there you go. Let me know what you think. If you want one of these, register your interest by leaving a comment in the comment section below, or you can contact us on our Facebook page at Lightning Storm Motorcycles, or you can send us a message or an email at info@lsmoto.co.uk and let us know if you are interested and if you want one. I've got nothing else to say really. It's a road legal pit bike.
Yeah.
Brilliant. There are a few around, but at £1,599, that's a really good price.
Yeah, I mean, what can you buy for 1,600 quid to ride on the road now? You can't even buy a 50cc moped. Is a bit more, slightly bit more expensive than this.
Absolutely. And look at what it is. People love this style of bike.
Especially, not being funny, the youngsters who are going to want to ride this type of bike, possibly.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely. Now, the astute among you may have noticed the graphics here. If you can tell us in the comment section below what is different about the graphics, and don't worry, we've got the fix that came with the bike to fix it, then we will send you a free mug. Let us know in the comment section below if you can see anything on this bike that is a bit unusual. So the first person to comment and let us know what it is, there'll be a mug on its way to you. So there you go. I have nothing else to say. Do you?
No. Like I say, I'm looking forward to getting out on the road. I would like to see the speed it does.
Yeah, I mean, speed off-road is pretty irrelevant.
I think it's going to
ride
do
that to its maximum.
Yeah.
No chance.
I think it's going to do around about 50 to 55 flat out. So you're talking probably cruising speed 45 without putting too much pressure on it.
Yeah. Now, please don't put in the comment section that we haven't ridden it on the road. There's a perfectly good reason for that. It's not road legal yet. We've got to wait for the paperwork to come back before we can actually get it registered and get the number plates on it. And at the moment, I know I could ride it on trade plates, but it's still a bike that hasn't been registered for the road. So I can't take that risk, and I'm not going to, because I'm a legal side sort of guy. Are you?
Of course.
Absolutely. So that's all I have time to say. Until next time, please ride and drive carefully.
But have fun.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.